Okay, 3 points to really bring out here in Chapter 11 on top of what you've learned in 9 and 10. The first here is point number 1 in the summary that talks about the matched subjects and repeated measures designs. Mathematically, these two are exactly the same, but design-wise, they're slightly different. For example, what we did in class with the basketball was a matched subjects design, because we matched Evan with Shelby, we matched Carly with Dane, I believe, and so on. If we had wanted to make that a repeated measures design, let's say just for the 4 girls, we would have had them not compared to someone else, but compared to themselves. So for example, Brittany might have taken shots up at a close range and then taken shots at a long range, and then we would do the same for the other 3 girls, and then figure out, was there a difference between their accuracy rate near the can and their accuracy rate far from the can. So this takes out any individual background in terms of how they're feeling, their athletic ability. All of that will be taken out of the variability. The only thing will be the distance from the can, whether it's short or far away. So it can be a very valuable tool to do this, and I think that's what point number 4 brings out. What is not too evident here is that a lot of times you don't have the option to do a repeated measures or related samples design, and so you might have to do the independent t-test from Chapter 10. For example, if there was anonymous data and you couldn't figure out who said what, you wouldn't be able to collect it again. Or if it was existing data and there was no way to go back and collect more data, which is the case in a lot of the studies that our class is doing, you would really only be able to do an independent t-test. You wouldn't have the option of related samples or repeated measures design. And then if we jump over to number 2 here, this formula D equals x2 minus x1. So whether it's repeated measures or any kind of related samples design, really, you're getting a specific score at 2 different places. So this may be Brittany's long shot minus her short shot. It might be Brittany versus whoever, can't remember who her partner was, but subtracting them to get a difference. Whatever it is, there's some match, whether it's you're matched with another person or you're matched with yourself, and then you're going to subtract those 2 values to get a difference. Very, very important here. Once you get this difference, this is exactly the same as a simple t-test. So a single sample t-test, this D is the same as the X in a single sample t-test. And once you get that in your head, all of these formulas right here follow exactly as they would in the simple t-test. So the only difference here is that first step when you're getting your difference scores, again, by subtracting either with your partner, if it's matched samples, or yourself, your different scores that were taken on yourself. Once you get that D, then just consider that as an individual data point in a single sample t-test, and all of these formulas are exactly the same as the single sample.